there friends, Nibs again. Out here in the garage doing a little bit of tinkering around tonight, and I wanted to show you guys something that I have here that I hope you guys find it interesting anyway. I don't know if you remember a week or so ago I showed you guys a new break barrel rifle that I had just got in. It was a Walther Force 1000, and it's basically an Umarex distributed gun that Walther licensed to have their name put on, and it came with a scope that was also Walther branded. But I went outside to play around with it, and for everything I could do, I could not get that thing to zero at all. So I kind of thought I knew what was going on with it, but I wanted to tear it down. It wasn't doing me any good, you know, if I broke it or whatever, I just throw it away. But so what I found was I tried to take a picture of it, and I'll put it up here. When you look down inside this barrel, so your elevation knob goes here and your windage knob goes here. On the opposite side, 180 degrees out from between those two posts, there's supposed to be a spring there that when you do either one of these adjustments, it pushes against the tube inside, which is your where your reticle is, and moves your reticle around. So that spring was actually rotated so that it was over here on the, basically wasn't even allowing so if you tried to go to the right, the tube was just staying over to the left. But I was able to, so I didn't know which end it was gonna, because some rifles are different, or scopes are different than others. So I actually took the back end apart too, which is no big deal. I can get that back together. But I was able to get down inside here with a long, thin screwdriver and just rotate that thing back around and get it back where it's supposed to be. And so now I'm going to bring you down to the tabletop here, and we're going to try to get this thing back together. And then I'll probably put this on I don't think I'm going to put it back on a springer, because it's that's probably why it sprung out of place like that. Or from the looks of the adjustments here, it may have never been, because there's no marks on the left hand side here at all. There's marks on the top, but not on the side for the windage elevation. So it may have been like that from the factory and just never gotten used. That Air Force or Force 1000 gun looked to be virtually unused, so it may have had just a bad scope on it right from the factory, and everybody just got disappointed with it and stuck it in the corner. But let me bring you down to the tabletop here, and we'll try to get this thing back together. So should be pretty straightforward. So we've got the front objective. So again, the spring is over here on the right hand side at the bottom edge. So if you push down, it'll force on that spring, and if you push to the left, it'll also force on that spring. But we'll go ahead and get our front objective lens back in here. Make sure it's taken. Just a little trim ring there. I may need to adjust this later. I'm not sure how far in this would go. It's got quite a bit of travel, so I guess if it needs to be focused later, that was what I would need to do. All right, so now the next piece is the end bell here. This one's a lot easier to work on. It's actually a fixed power scope, so a multiple power scope would have an extra adjustment there, and they can get pretty complicated. I've worked on a few of them and actually fixed them, but if I had my so I'm screwing this all the way in because there's actually a little O-ring or spring clip here I got to get back on. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. Gotta get this little spring clip back down. Let me see here. Okay, I need a little bitty screwdriver. One end planted and just got to work it around. You got to be careful while you're in here because the reticle is very close to the, there we go. There we go. So the reticle is right there at the end of that tube, so if it'll be very easy to touch that with a screwdriver or something hard like that and destroy that. So, and then the last thing is this, well, not the last thing, but the last thing on the back here, this rear lens goes back in. Just look through it here and see how we're looking. That is not too bad. Okay, it does need to be focused a little bit, but the image is looking pretty nice. Okay, so the last piece here is actually your adjusters. Make sure you get the right one. So this is the one that says up on it, so that is the elevation. Would not be hard to goof that up and all right, so let's see here. So I can see that going up and down now. So I had adjusted this all the way to the extreme left. I want to pull it back a little bit just so I'm not putting so much pressure on that spring. All right, so here's again where I love these little Knipex because they got smooth jaws. And I'm not going to reef down on it or anything, but I just want to snug these up a little bit. Just so they won't spin when I'm trying to make adjustments to the reticle here. So there we go, that's all back together now. I'm going to cut this off and I'm going to mount this on a rifle and see what we can do with it. So stand by. Alrighty there, friends. So I mounted this little Walther scope up onto, this is actually a new bring home. It's a Daisy model 856, which is, hope I don't offend anybody, but this is Daisy's knockoff of the Model 760. They definitely came out a long time after the 760, but there's almost no difference as far as outline or feature on this gun compared to the 760, which has been out since the since the early or mid 60s. So, but that's not why we're here. We're here to see if this scope's any good. I do have a camera running across the garage here at my target stand, and we'll go ahead and take a couple shots and see what we got. I did shoot it before I started. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and it was actually, I had to turn it about 6 clicks down, and it was right on the money. I did focus it a little bit, and it's very clear, very clear. It's a night and day difference from what it was when I first got it, from when it was on that Walther. When I this is quite a neat little gun. It really is. I mean, I love the 760, so I figured I would really like this guy too. So could use a little bit more zeroing. I'm shooting offhand, so, but you see I'm easily hitting that bullseye now. Before, with the where the spring was in this thing, I was actually out shooting, trying to shoot 10 yards with the new Walther Force 1000, and the best I could get was like 6 inches high and 6 inches to the left. That was the closest. It never adjusted at all, no matter how much I screwed it one way or the other. So yeah, I knew there was something definitely big time wrong with it, but I can go ahead and put these caps back on here, and that one is good to go. I like it when it fixes easy. Could have been something actually broken inside of there, and then I guess I really wouldn't have been out anything, and I would have just chucked it away. But there you go. And Walther 4 to 32. I don't see, it doesn't say where it was made, but the rifle was made in China, so I'm sure that the scope was made in China as well. But anyway, hope you liked the video. If you did, like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. You'll be notified when I do post up new videos. Till next time, have a great day.